Amen. Okay, we just want to say welcome to everyone that is here. So we're going to ask all that are here to just give us a good morning and tell us a little bit your name and what neighborhood or where you're from. We have one of our regulars, Barbara G. Good morning, Barbara G.
Good morning, and how are you?
I am excellent. Excellent. Just a little chilly, but I'm excellent.
Oh, yes, chilly. Oh, yes.
Yes.
Good to see you guys.
Okay. And who else do we have here? Nancy Gottsman. Did I say that correctly? Good morning. Okay. Maybe Nancy can't hear me. Chanel Mays. Good morning. Will you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Good morning. My name is Chanel Mays, and I live in Clinton Hills. How is everyone today?
I'm fine. Good to hear you. Thank you. Welcome for being with us.
Pleasure being here.
Okay. Okay. And I think we know it. We just go through the roster so we can introduce ourselves. Renata Whitaker.
Hi, good morning, everyone. It's Renata Whitaker, Secretary for United Parks is One, and member of the Milton House Park Resurrection Committee. Good to see everybody. Hey, Dr. A.
Yeah.
Lieutenant Francis, yeah. You next, Dr. A.
Yes.
Good morning, everybody. My apologies for being late. It's just one of those mornings.
No, you came in right
but I could miss Dina. So
she's great. She's great. Okay. So while you're here, you're right on cue. You want to tell us your name, your neighborhood, what organization you're with? You know how we do.
Okay, my name is Dr. Antoinette Francis Scherer, Dr. A. You may hear many people calling me. I work with the RWJ Barnabas Health Institute for Prevention and Recovery, and I manage the Newark CTC program, which works primarily in the South Ward. We take a public health prevention approach to substance abuse prevention, particularly for youth between 6 to 24 years old. Which doesn't say we don't, because it's a public health approach, we're not the typical prevention. We understand that a lot more goes into changing behaviors or understanding behaviors than simply saying don't take drugs. So we work with all our community partners to achieve that.
Gotta turn one of yours off. So you gotta mute. You gotta mute one of them and turn it down. Take it off speaker and mute it.
Oh, that's wonderful. And I couldn't miss Dina today because one of the things that our CTC has been, our CTC partners have been saying is to get that more environmental awareness and that environmental approach to wellness and awareness in the community. So Dina, I'm all ears, eyes, and attention. Happy New Year, everybody. I forgot to say that. Mind my manners.
Hello, anybody there?
Yeah. Yep. Did you introduce yourself, Doris?
No, my name is Doris Garrett, and
I'm the partners for Nat Turner Park. I'm also treasurer of United Parks as one.
Awesome sauce.
Good morning. I'm back. Sorry about that. Where's this thing? Okay. So did we get everybody? Or who did I miss?
Did Tanisha go?
Denise
Shafani?
Malcolm. Good morning.
Good morning, Tanisha Malcolm, born in Newark, grew up in the West Ward, current Irvington resident, lover of UPA, United Parks is one. I'm not even going to mess up the acronym. Dear friend of DENA, and looking forward to today's conversation. And my full-time job, I should probably add, I work for the Nature Conservancy, New Jersey chapter, as director of the city's program. Happy to be here.
Excellent. Excellent.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Sorry if you guys called me and I missed you. My name is Tiffany Salas of Shafani PR. I'm really happy to be here. I'm just away right now, so I can't show my face on camera, so excuse me for that. But thank you so much for your time today. I'm excited to learn what Ms. DENA has for us.
Great. Thank you for being with us.
Did Zaida go? Zaida?
Thank you so much.
Hi, good morning. My name is Zaida Blvd, and I'm a homeowner. I live in the South Ward, born and raised in Newark. Have known DENA and loved her for so long. So I am just glad to be here and looking forward to what she has to offer.
Okay, great. Thank you for being with us, Aida. Yolanda?
Yolanda, yeah.
Good morning, Yolanda Stokes. I am with South Ward Promise Neighborhood, but also on the committee with DENA with the South Ward Strong Environmental and Wellness Space. And I'm here to support DENA, but I see quite a few people I haven't seen in a while.
Oh, that's good. Thank you. Good morning for being with us. Good morning. So is that everyone? I know I dipped out for a minute. So is that everyone?
Laura, did you go? And then Tia just got on.
I did not. Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Laura Cole. I am the Food and Economic Justice Organizer with Clinton Hill Community Action and a member of the Mildred Helms Resurrection Committee. I'm also from Clinton Hill.
Okay, good morning. Thank you.
Absolutely.
And
good morning, everyone. My name is Tia Ryans. I am the Director of Housing Justice here at Clinton Hill Community Action, and I'm also a Clinton Hill resident.
okay, great. Thank you for being with us, Tia.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Good morning, Richard Whitten, Clinton Hill, a resident. Also, one of the vice presidents of United Parks as one.
Okay, thank you. And I think that's everyone but me. Good morning. I'm Elizabeth McGrady, president, one of the co-presidents of the Friends of Nat Turner Park, and one of the presidents of United Parks as one.
And I didn't go, and I think Donna may not have gone. I'm Carla Robinson. I'm the executive director of United Parks as one, and I live in the Fairmont neighborhood.
And where's Kurt? Is she still here? Am I missing her? Oh,
good morning, everybody. I'm Donna Kirkland with the Trust for Public Land, founding members of the park groups that we talked about, playground groups, and so many partners. So I am so excited to be here today to hear DENA's presentation and to see a lot of people I haven't seen in a while. Happy New Year.
Okay. Okay, Carl, I'm sorry, Donna. I dipped out. I'm sorry, I missed you guys. I overlooked you guys. And now we're going to turn it over to Doris.
Today we're going to introduce y'all to DENA Corbin. DENA Corbin is ma'am.
Go ahead.
DENA Corbin. DENA Corbin is a retired special education teacher, a wife, a mother, a grandmother. She also a best-selling author of change, balance, and flow, an essential oil journey, which highlights her transition from working all her life to living the rest of her life and the impact. Wait a minute. Oh, you have to excuse me. My eyes are not working too well this morning.
Take your time. Take your time.
It's early and it's cold.
And the impact using their therapeutic grade essential oil had a balancing her mentally, emotionally, and physically through it all. She is a certified horticultural and therapeutic and a master gardener. DENA recently earned a certificate in applied positive psychology. Thank you. Miss DENA, you're on.
Okay, well, first of all, y'all really know how to put pressure on a girl, on a sister early in the morning. So let me start sharing my screen. Okay, there it is. Share. I'm gonna remember you from the beginning, current slide. Okay. All righty. So can everybody see the screen?
Yes.
Yes, wonderful. I really don't, when you do share screen, I can't see everybody's face. I don't like that, but here we go. So what I want to start with is some deep breathing, right? Just to get some of this anxious feeling that I have going on. So we're going to breathe in 3, we're going to hold for 3, and we're going to breathe out for 6. Because when you're breathing, when you do a longer exhale, it's more relaxing, right? So let's go. You ready? So we're going to breathe in 3. 1, 2, 3. Hold. 1, 2, 3, and then breathe out for 6. Let's do that one more time. Hold. Out. Make some noise this time. One more time. Breathe in 3. Hold. Make some noise. Okay, I'm a lot more relaxed. So yeah, so I was assigned share some basic things people can do at the beginning of the year to make their wellness a high priority. So I think I understood the assignment. I think we all understood the assignment. That's why we are here, okay? So the title, Viewing Wellness Through a Different Lens, is a tagline of my business, right? Natural Ground One, we're the company that's called to really view wellness through a different lens and to get people to understand the choices that they have about their wellness journey. It looks different for everybody. And I'm Haja DENA CORBIN, CEO and founder of Natural Ground One. I just started using Haja this week after a text that I got on Monday from a very dear friend of mine in reference to asking me to help her and her family support her mother. And then being called to do some of the other things that I've been asked to do in reference to helping people see who they are in the world, how they can show up in the world. I realized that the work that we're called to do, that I'm called to do, is real. So I'm embracing everything that I am. And Hajj means that I've gone on Hajj. I fulfilled that pillar of Islam, of my religion, which is very important. If you're called to go on Hajj at least once in your lifetime and you're able to make it, that's a blessing. So I am Haja DENA CORBIN.
Okay, blessing.
And yeah, claiming it all. So viewing wellness through a different lens. So what does that look like? I wonder if I can move this up. Yes, I can. Okay. So there are 8 spaces of wellness. And when I went to Google, because you can Google anything, right?
Mhm.
But you can't Google the experience that comes along with what you find. So those 3 different references all had the 8 spaces of wellness or 8 realms of wellness. And then they basically had the same definition, right? So not in any particular order as of yet. 8 spaces of wellness is the quality or state of being healthy in mind and body, especially as a result of deliberate effort. So this is going to take work. This new space that we're getting ready to move into, the assignment that I was given was, what can we help people, basic things that people can do at the beginning of the year to make their wellness a high priority, right? So these 8 spaces can open up ways for you to do that. So you have your physical, you have your intellectual, you have your community, your financial wellness, your environmental wellness, your occupational wellness, your spiritual wellness, and your emotional. There are information here on the screen that you may not be able to have all of these at the same time, but work on those that you feel most, that resonate with you the most, and understand that the balance that you're seeking is not this even thing, right? Balance, the large part of balance is knowing what will take you out of balance. That's key. So when you know what takes you out of balance, you can either deal with it or not. And if you have to deal with it, you can't find ways to help you deal with that. So moving on to the next slide. This spiritual wellness is the theme, the backbone of the presentation that I'm going to have with you today. So spiritual wellness, a lot of times when people hear the word spiritual, they think of this woo-woo spooky kind of concept, right? For me, it's not that. And even in the definition, it doesn't really draw to a religious connotation. It doesn't have to be a religious involvement. It's expanding a sense of purpose, right? And meaning in your life. What does that look like? That's going to look like something different for everybody. When I was going through all of the sessions, all of the learning that I've had over the years, that I'm pouring out into products and services that my company is going to be coming out with, one of the things that really resonated with me always was that connection with everything that I was doing. So it's really, like I said, it's that connection. And what are your intentions or goals? I don't really like to use the word goals a lot, because a lot of times when we have a goal and we accomplish that goal, then that can be the end of it. It's done. You don't have to strive anymore. I like to use the word intentions because it's what you intend to do, what you want to do, and you can keep going and keep going and keep going with your intentions. One of the things that allowed me to really tap into my spiritual wellness and just about everything that I'm going to be talking about is really spending time alone in reflection and spending time in nature. And that's why I put the water over there and the trees that you see is because it allows you a sense of connection, right? And you can find a community that shares your spiritual outlook, and you can volunteer as well. Another thing that really is powerful for understanding and connecting to your spiritual wellness is mindfulness. That's a whole nother topic. A whole webinar can be around mindfulness, but mindfulness is when you're in the moment of something and tapping into all of your senses when you're at work, or when you're washing dishes or taking a walk, or washing your clothes, washing your body even. Everything that's in that moment. What does it sound like? What does it feel like? What does it what if you're eating food, what does it taste like? And a key component of finding this, tapping into this spirituality that I'm talking about, is knowing who you are. And when I took my positive psychology class, we had a lot of different tools. And one of the tools out of the many, many, many that stood out to me was the character strengths. How many people have heard of character strengths? Can you just come off of mute and say, I have, so I can hear, because I can't see everybody. Has anybody have ever heard of character strengths questionnaire?
Oh, yes.
Okay, all righty, very good.
How's DENA CORBIN?
Okay.
That's true, yes.
Yeah, okay, so character strengths, oops, let me go back. Oh, wait a minute. So character strengths are the core personality traits that define your unique identity. It makes you feel authentic, alive, and engaged in life. There are 24 different character strengths, and then you can take the character strength survey. It's via characterstrength.org. I encourage everyone on the call and everyone that you can contact with. What I want you to do is take this information and share with at least 3 people, right? So take this character strength. The character strength allows you to identify who you really are, because in order to get this wellness that we're looking for, we have to know who we are and how we show up in the world. When I took the character strengths, I'm going to go over a few of mine. It made me realize why I do the things I do, how I am the way I am, why people even respond to me the way they do. I wasn't surprised at my top 3 character strengths. So when you're endorsing your character strengths, their signature strengths, the ones that are most popular, and all of the ones that are woven in between that allow you to feel the way you feel. So there are 3 elements that define the essence of your strength. One is there's the essential. That's the strength when it feels essential to who you are as a person. It's your core. It identifies you. The effortless character strength that you feel it's your strength. It feels natural and effortless. Like when I put together this workshop, it wasn't hard. It took it took effort because I had to put in the work, but what I needed to put this presentation together was very easy for me to access because it's what I live in. And then it's energizing, right? You're using the strength that energizes it and it uplifts you. This was uplifting for me. As much as I'm pouring this out, I learned a lot as well. It leaves you feeling happy and balanced and ready to take on more. Like I'm ready to take this presentation and do a live presentation somewhere else and just tell people everything that we're going to be learning on this journey today. So going back to the first slide where we had all of those 8 wellness spaces, we're going to kind of move through now each one individually. So the emotional wellness is the ability to cope effectively with life and build satisfying relationships with others and control your emotions. So on the intention side, just becoming more aware of your feelings and accept them as valid indicators of what you are experiencing. Like, for example, this whole situation that we're in, it's no denying it, right? And when you try to resist certain things that happen, you build up resentment or things that just don't flow well in your body. It manifests itself in other ways. Sometimes we have to embrace what is happening to us, good, bad, or indifferent. For example, when I became sick over the summer, I left me with struggling with this high blood pressure thing, right, and this mind fog kind of thing, right. So instead of like denying it and saying, no, that's not happening, I'm not going to deal with this. Once I embraced it, not allowing it to define me, but once I embraced it, it became easy. And I started using my holistic approaches that I know, and now my blood pressure is stable, but I think a lot of it, not only was it the medication, right? That's another story that we can get into as well, because that's an integrative approach. Not only was it the medication, I truly believe it was my mindset. The fact that I embraced what was happening, I dealt with it, but I did not allow it to define who I was and how I showed up in the world. So the key component to handling your emotional intelligence or your emotional wellness is learning to notice what's going on, naming it, and then navigating those emotions in yourself and others. Notice what's going on. I'm feeling anxious, right? This is the environment is not what I need it to be. Name it, I'm anxious, and then navigate. How do you navigate out of your anxiousness? A lot of times for me, it's just breathing. It's just being, it's just sitting, right? So that's key, is being able to notice, name, and navigate. And then another thing, like I said, my tagline is like viewing wellness through a different lens, right? So the difference, because a lot of what is plaguing us is not new. One of the key things that I've learned over the last 5 or 6 months is a piece that's missing is counseling. Being able to talk to someone, to have a professional listen to you and respond to your needs, your desires, your worries, your anxiety, right? My sister had a coffee cup that said, who needs to pay for a therapist when you have a girlfriend to talk to, or it's something about it being less expensive. And that's true, right? You can have your girlfriend, your friend, your mom, whomever to talk to, somebody that you can confide everything in, but is it as effective? And my answer to that is no, it's not as effective. If we release the stigma of having to counsel, having to see a therapist. So the next one is physical wellness, recognizing the need for physical activity, healthy food, and sleep. Key component to our, if we don't take care of our bodies, it will break down. And you can't get whole thinking in isolation. All of these things have a connection. That's why I started off with that spiritual. They all have a connection. So if you're not sleeping well, if you're not eating properly, if you're not doing any type of physical activity, it's going to weigh on your body, and you're not going to be able to show up and feel as present or feel the way that you need to do to get done what you have to get done. And some of those exercises is, jumping rope, riding your bike, walking, hiking, right? Taking nature walks and taking hiking, dancing, gardening is another key component to physical wellness, because not only are you tapping into that physical activity, you're also tapping into that emotional, your environmental wellness as well. When I was going through this slide presentation this morning, I put down here, avoid mentally draining situations that you don't need to deal with. And I thought, well, why did I put that in the physical, right? But then I remembered that if you're holding on to things internally in your body and you don't have a physical release, or you don't have any way to release, it will manifest itself in the physical. You're getting headaches, your muscle tension, you're not able to sleep, you're not able to do this. It's manifesting itself in the physical. Community wellness is connecting, having a strong sense of belonging, right? Find a cause and work to change what you don't like. That's what, for me, that's what community connection looks like. Developing the ability to create and maintain close relationships. Become aware of your responsibility for the welfare and your community and those around you. It's not just about you. It's about your entire community and how you integrate and how you operate within that community. And then offer small acts of kindness, right? That what is it? The day, Random Acts of Kindness Day. That was developed by somebody who wanted to do community engagement, right? And wanted to show people how you can engage. And then finding a cause or working to change what you don't like, is a real wonderful way, because you can get to set your own tone as to what you want to do. My example is I've developed this program called the Milkweed Project, right? Because there's no butterflies hardly ever. The butterflies that we used to see when I was a child, you don't see that many. So milkweed is the only plant that the monarch butterfly lays its eggs on. That is a cause for me. And I've been doing that for 3 years. This year, I have a sponsor, right? The New Jersey Native Plant Society of Essex County is going to sponsor the Milkweed Project. So I want to take a pause here. I meant to read this in the very beginning, but I normally, when I prepare for a talk, I do the presentation, I look at each slide and I take notes. I didn't do that this time because I wanted to bring you a presentation that comes from my heart. It is infused with my experiences and founded on knowledge that is available to us all. I really wanted this to be a conversation where I really got to share and experience what I've been going through and how it can help other people. Because as we stated, wellness takes work. It's not something that is just going to come naturally. And then your environmental wellness, which is one of my favorites, is occupying pleasant, stimulating surroundings that support well-being. I cannot speak enough about the importance of connecting to nature. Excuse me. This happens when I'm on camera talking, my nose itches. I don't want y'all to think I'm picking my nose or blowing my nose, something like that, but that it just happens. So the environmental wellness is key in finding who you are. I know there's people on the call that will definitely agree with me. I know Tanisha, she is an outdoor person. We've hiked together, and it's key. You can find a lot of what you're looking for when you want to connect to yourself in nature. I can honestly say that. Spending time outdoors, evaluate your space, create, neighborhood watches, plan a personal or community garden. Because once you connect with nature, you see the rhythm. I did a talk once and I asked the audience, what season are you? Because every season has its qualities, right? It has its qualities, it has its rhythm. People think that the winter is dead. For me, my personal experience with winter is it is the most active season, but you don't see it. Everything is working it's that inner game, right? It's that interconnection that nature is making so that we can appreciate and see the beauty of the spring and the summer, and then the fall, right? The leaves fall. So that cycle, once you tune into that cycle, then you can tune into your own natural patterns of how you show up in the world and how you support the people that you're called to serve and support. And then you have the 3 N's. They're learning this in pre-K 3 and 4 all the way up through college, like the reduce, reuse, and recycle. All helps to cut down on the amount of waste that we throw away. And I like to add in nature, because my new salutation now is stay nature connection, growth happens there, right? You stay nature connected, you will find the growth that you need. And this picture here is a picture of the monarch butterfly. And it was through the United Parks is One's grant that we were able to purchase these beautiful monarch, not the monarch butterflies, but the milkweed. And you see the ladybug there, and you see the butterfly. This is a beautiful testament to the beauty in nature, that cycle, because this butterfly lays its eggs only on this particular plant. And then you have the intellectual wellness, recognizing one's creative abilities and finding ways to expand your knowledge. How do you seek your knowledge? Are you just one who wants to just take what is already given to you? Or are you one that just wants to expand your knowledge? In ways to do that, you take a class, you strive to be a part of new experiences, and then you feel confident in what you're learning, right? And how is that going to improve your note-taking skills, your listening and public speaking? I love taking classes. One of my character strengths is my love of learning, right? It's my love of learning. But I begin to now, when I'm in a class, sometimes I just listen, because most times now everything is being recorded. So rather than listen and try to take notes, I'm just more or less listening. I want to go over this because I think a lot of times people are stopped about what they learn because they have the self prophecies of limitations, their own limitations. If you have a tribe, if you have people who are supporting you and you trust them and they're saying to you, you should do this, you are good at this, you should, try doing this, listen to them. There's this concept that I teach around, and it's called the 4 windows. And window number 1 and 2, window number 1 says that there are things that you know about yourself that other people don't know about you. Things that you know about yourself that other people know, your name, your eye color, maybe the kind of car you drive, because they see that, right? Things that you know about yourself that other people may not know. How much money you have in the bank or how much money you don't have in the bank, your social security number, those types of things that people know about you, that things that you know about yourself that other people may not. And then there are the things that you don't know about yourself that other people know about you. And this window number 3 is how we begin to develop our emotional intelligence, our intellectual intelligence, and a lot of things about who we are. Because there are things that people will see in you that you don't see in yourself. So if you know that you're good at cooking and somebody says, girl, you need to open up a restaurant, or you have a good relationship with teenagers, you need to open up a counseling center, or you need to open up a mentoring program. Listen to them. Because like I said, a lot of times we have self-limiting beliefs as to who we are, but people see things in us that we don't see in ourselves. And then you have the 4th window, where there are things that you don't know about yourself, nor do other people. And the only way you're going to find those things out is conversation like this, reading a book, attending a class, taking a lecture. Those are the things that increase your intellectual wellness. And then you have your occupational wellness, gaining personal satisfaction and enrichment from your work. And you find ways to grow your skills. You got to work, you got to make money, right? So what does that look like? So you have these different perspectives on work. You have the job mindset, where you just working to make money. That's all you want to do is make money. You making money, you fine. You're not happy. There's fitna going on. Fitna is an Islamic term called like problems, issues, drama, right? You have all those things going on, but you don't care. You just there to make money. And then you have the careerist mindset of work for advancement, pay, and prestige. Your doctor or your lawyer, or you start at a fast food restaurant, but you can work your way up to manager or assistant manager or regional manager, right? And then you have the calling mindset, where you see work, people see their work as a positive end in itself. This is what you are called to do. This is positive. I'm encouraging. I'm putting good stuff out into the world. And then you have the job crafting, right? You have that job crafting where you're in a job, but you're changing your job so it better fits your motives, your strengths, and your passions. For example, when I was teaching special needs students, some of the concepts and the tests that they had to do was difficult. It was really, really difficult for them to grasp hold and make it their own. Concepts like, time order words, scientific terms like nucleus and atoms, and atoms and all of those different high functioning type of perspectives. So what I did was I started gardening. I started, bringing plants into my classroom and started teaching them and connecting what I had to teach them through my experiences, my own personal experience in gardening, but knowing that if you grasp it, it's such an engaging activity that a lot of what I was trying to teach them, they were able to get. So you have this job craftiness. You may be on a job that may not be something that you like. Think of ways to twist it and flip it so it's more beneficial to you. And then also, what is it that you can do outside of what you're doing? What passions do you have that can make money? And then the financial wellness is understanding your money situation, recognizing ways to expand knowledge and your skill with money. Budgeting is something that people think will save them money. I don't like to use the word budget. It's too constricting for me. So I like to say regulate. So how do you regulate and spend thoughtfully and carefully, right? Opening up a checking and savings account, that can be a way for you to save and budget and, you know, regulate your spending. Avoid debt, avoid, you know, excessive spending. But the intention here is really to set money intentions, design a money map. What does that look like? You put money in a map and all of the different ways that you can save money or spend money, right? Or ways that you can bring money into your sphere of what you want to do. It's more like a mind map. It's a money map. Tap into what is available to you. What skills, talents, and resources do you have that are marketable? That is huge now. There are teenagers, there are, you know, just making money out of their passion and what they want to do. And you can do it and have a job, right? And eventually that passion, that entrepreneurial spirit that we all have may be your primary source of income. And what need can you feel that people are ready to pay for? What each of us on this call has a need, a calling. They have something in them that they can project, right? That people will really want to pay for. What is it? And once you tap into that spiritual connection and that character of who you are, you may find an answer. And entrepreneurship and the calling is not for everybody. But if you have even an inkling of it, it's revisiting you, going back to the 4 windows, listen to the person that's telling you, girl, you need to be doing X, Y, and Z, right? And then view money as movement. It's called currency. It moves, right? So understand that sometimes in order to make, in most instances, in order to make money, you really have to spend it. You really have to spend it. And then, so I want to pause right here because I want to leave you with these few things that we're getting ready to go over. Are there any questions, comments, concerns at this point? No?
No, I don't have any.
Okay, is there
Okay,
anything
wait a
in the
minute.
chat? Because I can't see the chat.
So I can't wait until we're done, not because of this, so I can hear the comments. And also at the end, give my testimony about a lot of the things that you talked about. So
okay,
I just wanted to make that comment.
All right, wonderful. Nothing's in the chat? Okay, so we're gonna move.
Yeah, Dina, and of course, one of the things I wanted to point out is that a lot of what you say does align with what we have stats on, what the public health approach is with all the social determinants, what works, what keeps you healthy, particularly community wellness. Remember that saying that it takes a village? It really does. It wasn't just a cliche saying. It does take a village for all of us to be well and experience that quality of goodness and energy that will build resilience in us all.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for that comment. It's interesting that you said that there are stats and research on a lot of what I'm talking about. You know, there are people that have been talking what I'm saying for years. You know, a lot of this is not new. It's just that the way we look at it, we have to put a different approach, a different spin. We have to flip it so that it becomes ours, right? There's this, you know, we used to talk about wellness, whole wellness lifestyle, natural remedies, right? The new terminology, the new buzzword in the medical field now is integrative medicines, right? So integrative medicine looks like this. They're saying that let's, for example, I'm going to use myself because remember what I said, I want to infuse my experiences into this because a lot of times when you tell your story, it affects somebody else. After my being sick this summer and having high blood pressure, right? It's left me with high blood pressure. I'm like, now, Dina, you need to get this together because you speak wellness. People look at you like this wellness kind of person. And when I was told that I had to start taking a medication to lower my blood pressure because what I was doing, the herbs, the oils, the was not working, I felt just devastated. But like I said, what I did was I embraced what was going on with me. Instead of it owning me, I embraced it. And when I embraced it, not letting it define me, that had a lot to do with where my blood pressure is now. Granted, I always had this feeling that it wasn't so much the oils, and we're not the Whitaker, I can talk about the oils forever. It wasn't so much the oils. I really thought that it would be in the herbs because I started with herbs and herbs led me to essential oils. And it's the herbs that I'm taking right now, right? That is allowing my blood pressure to stay at this regulated space. So I'm grateful for that. So integrative medicine speaks to this. It says that there are illnesses that we have, right? And there are medication that you may be taking, but things like yoga, meditation, acupuncture, mindfulness, all of those activities that we know work. Now medicine is mirroring that and saying that these things work in conjunction with you being able to take medication. So I'm going to move through the rest of this because I really want to leave you with these things. Thinking about everything that we talked about above this. Now let's flip it and really, really own it. Okay? Because the first thing that I had to do when I was going through my stuff once I retired, and I talk about it in my book, is I had to change my mindset. And there are people who have a fixed mindset. Most of the people in the world, not just in Newark, not just in New Jersey, not just in the United States, but in the world have a fixed mindset. Qualities are fixed traits, they think. A fixed mindset believes that talent alone leads to success and effort is not required. So when they look at the world, their view of the world, the things that are happening in the world, they're unchanged and they're unchangeable. It is what it is. It's going to do what it's going to do. Ain't no sense in trying to change nobody. Ain't no sense in trying to help nobody. It is what it is. When they look at challenges, they avoid them. When they encounter difficulties and obstacles, they give up immediately. Their effort is associated with failure. If they try something, first of all, they're probably not going to try it, but if they're forced to try it and they fail, they don't look at the fact that they can learn from their failures, right? It's just a failure. Feedback and criticism, they ignore it and they avoid it at all costs. Success of others, they feel threatened. Instead of them looking at something that and they can glean from that or they can learn from that, they feel threatened by that. Making mistakes, they hide them or they ignore them. When they're offered help and support, they turn it down. A fixed mindset is focused and concentrated on the destination. They get no experience, learn nothing through the journey. They only are interested in the destination. And then when you have a growth mindset, which is engaging, right? And it's just a totally different mindset. Their basic qualities are things you can cultivate, work on, and grow through effort and desire to learn. Right? The pictures that you see here again is the culture spot that I worked on. I had the honor of being asked to install a pollinator garden, and you had these children and these adults coming, and this is what a fixed mindset looks like. Because this little girl right here, she did not want to hold that worm. And I told her, I said, you can do it. I hold my hand and you put your hand in mine. And she was able to do that. And then my grandson down at the bottom. And then you see the adult, that's my big sister, Teresa, right there, who is here with us from Dallas. She's decided to move back home. We're going to take care of her. She just turned 80 on her birthday. So the growth mindset is the mindset that you want to be in. Even knowing that you have a growth mindset, which is what I prided myself on having a growth mindset. But as I planned my Whole Wellness Woman Conference in 2020, in the height of a pandemic, it had to go totally virtual. It was so much more work, and I hired someone to do the work and they did not show up, right? So I had to adjust my mindset. Even though I had this growth mindset, I had the mindset that that technical background was I can't do that. That's just not, that's beyond my scope. I had to learn. So even though you may have a growth mindset, sometimes you can have those fixed mindset tendencies, weave itself in there, and you have to go beyond that. So I had to learn the back end of what Natural Ground One does on the social media realm. Do I want to do it? No, I'm getting ready to hire somebody else to do it because I just don't want to do it. It's not that I can't now, I've learned, but that's just not my thing. Knowing my character strength, I'm a creative, right? So the worldview is you're capable of significant growth. Everything is growing, it's changing, there's change. The more change, the better. Challenges, they enjoy being challenged. They look for it. Encountering difficulties and obstacles, they expect eventual mastery. You keep at it, you keep doing it, you keep showing up, you keep showing up, you keep showing up, it works. The show up is real. Not only is it real, it is necessary for us to do what we have to do to get done what we have to get done. Your show up is real and my show up is real and necessary. Effort is a good thing. The more you try, the more things get done. Feedback and criticism, they love it. They learn from their feedback, right? They want feedback from people. They don't feel threatened by it at all. Success of others, they find lessons and inspiration. I'm inspired by the people who are on this call today. I'm inspired by the relationships that I have encountered with most of the people on this call, and especially my relationship with United Parks is one. The success of others finds lessons and inspirations, like I mentioned. Making mistakes, signposts for learning. Offer help and support is desirable. A fixed mindset is interested in the destination, but the journey, they love it. They learn to trust the process, and they look forward to the lessons that can be learned in getting to that destination. So this thing I want to leave you with is gratitude, something you feel when you feel you have been the recipient of something or someone else's positive actions. Gratitude is a feeling to me. It's not, it's hard to put a picture, right, on what gratitude looks like. So practicing gratitude, the view, what does it really sort of kind of look like? So for me, for these practices of gratitude, savor life. Now, when I was in my positive psychology class and I heard the word savor, I thought, well, how does that go with words? Because when I thought of savor, I thought of something that's good that you chewing in your mouth and you want to keep chewing because it's so good. But savor, our teacher said, think of a piece of taffy, like the taffy you get at Atlantic City, and you can stretch it out, right? That's what savoring is, that ability to be able to stretch something out that makes you happy, makes you feel well, right? So it's being attentive and appreciative of what you have available to you, that savoring of a good time that you've had with your family, your friends, right? And then nurture relationships, enhance the quality of whatever relationship you have. And if you have relationship issues that are, the relationship is not where you want it to be, how can you improve that? What are things that you can do to make that relationship better? Practice kindness, spontaneous gestures of goodwill, right? Those random acts of kindness. That's what that practice of gratitude looks like. Commit to your goals and your intentions, right? What is it that you want to do for yourself? Learn to forgive, a gift you give to yourself. This was I remember before, when I first started this whole journey of this wellness and mindfulness and what I know and learn has been, in a lot of instances, saving graces for me. There was people that I had to really forgive, that I held on to anger. And when I let that go, there was this, I felt like I had this space, this emptiness in me, because that anger, that ill feeling was no longer there. So it frees you up for other things. The act of forgiveness is not for the person that has harmed you. It truly is a gift that you give to yourself. Engaging in flow, intense absorption, energized energy. When I sat down and started doing this presentation, which was maybe like 3 weeks ago, I would come down here in my workspace and I could be here for hours because I was engaged in that flow and I was engaged in that focused, energized energy, and I just poured it out. So engage in flow. Find something that is intense that you can absorb yourself in, and practice religion and spirituality connected to something greater than yourself, really. And that looks different for everybody, but practice and understand that there is a being greater than who we are, and you need to acknowledge that and honor that and find that connection. And then the last thing, the very last thing I want to leave you with is self-compassion. I had to learn this, really, because you go through life, you raise your children, you marry, you do this for other people, you do this for other people, and then you feel depleted sometimes, and you wonder why you feel the way you feel. A lot of it has to do with practicing self-compassion, being warm and understanding toward yourself when you suffer, fail, or feel inadequate, rather than ignoring our pain or punishing ourselves with self-criticism. We are our worst enemy. A lot of what is holding us back is not the other person. It is our own mental chatter, our mental, emotional wellness, the way we talk to ourselves. And I want you to think of self-compassion as if someone calls you and said, they were feeling terrible, or they wanted to, they don't know what to do. How would you talk to them? Right? How would you talk to them? Talk to yourself like you would talk to a friend in need, and give yourself permission to be human. What does that mean? Permission to be human. Things happen. We're not perfect, right? So we have to begin to explore, to get to that place of wellness that we want to get to moving forward. Self-compassion is key. So tools and practices for building self-compassion, you have to build mindfulness. Mindfulness is that situation where you put yourself in the place and you don't think about what you should have done yesterday, and you don't think about what you need to do in the next 10, 15, 20 minutes. You're presently in the moment, because it extinguishes a lot of the worry that we have about things that we can't control. Don't think about what you need to do 10, 15 minutes from now, because it's not even there yet. You don't have control of it. You only have control of the present. And the way to bring mindfulness to your present is focus on your breath, because your breath is present, right? When you're breathing, you know that you're present. Identify emotions. I feel. How do you feel? Remember, we talked about being able to notice, name, and navigate your emotions in yourself. And when you talk about in others, oh, she got an attitude. Nope, don't want to deal with that. Don't need that energy. Nope, not doing that. Right? That's that notice, name, and navigate. How do you navigate around that emotion to bring yourself back to where you need to be. It's the self-talk, right? It's that positive self-talk, or are you dealing that mind chatter? Self-kindness, what makes you happy? What makes you happy? As opposed to you knowing what your children like, what your husband like, what your friends like, what makes you happy? Tapping into that. Self-awareness, who are you? That character strength questionnaire will help you. But really, if someone were to ask you, who are you? What turns you on? What do you like? How would you answer that question? You can't be as present with other people as you are with yourself if you don't know who you are. And commit to yourself first. What is your responsibility? When we have commitments, we show up with a certain level of responsibility. We are responsible for so many other people, so many other things. What is your commitment to yourself? What is your responsibility to yourself? And then hug yourself and smile. You'll be surprised at what happens if you're in a mood and you start smiling. It just changes the whole dynamics of what it is you're going through. And then the resources, I like to leave with resources. Like I said before, Google, you can Google anything. However, you cannot Google experience. The Mindset Continuum was by James Anderson. Self-Compassion is Christina Neef. And then confirming a lot of what I already knew and a ton of what I learned was from the Flourishing Center out of New York. That's where I got my positive psychology, wonderful center, and learned a ton of information. The Character Strength was the VI Institute on Character Strength. And then my common sense, my life experiences, and my notes are from my mom and my dad, myself and my family, and I meant to put in my friends, but I consider most of my friends are my family, so that as well. And then suggestions, support, trust, and belief in me was Miss Carla and Miss Donna and my United Parks as One family. I was on the phone, on text, emails with Miss Carla and Miss Donna. And I want to thank you. I want to thank the United Parks as One for allowing me to share this information. And as I started off with saying, I think we understood the assignment. So I'm done. If you have any questions, concerns, or anything you want to ask me, I'm open. I'm going to stop sharing my screen so I can see everybody's face. Yes, I like this view much better.
Awesome presentation.
Wow,
Dana.
really
Dana Corbin.
Fabulous.
Thank you.
That's one of the best things I've heard.
Oh.
Yes. I now have a roadmap, Dana, to begin my new year with, especially after just coming through COVID. And like you talked about the brain fog, and you know, it hit over the holidays. I had all these plans, and I was sick, and you know, so I didn't get a chance to start to build my roadmap, you know, for
Yolanda, you breaking up.
You know, so this is my recuperating, but you've given me a roadmap.
Wonderful.
So I will take charge of my future. She's given me the rope to use.
Beautiful.
And Miss Dina, I want to say that first, fantastic. I'm clicks and loving all of it. I'm glad I made it. It's so rewarding. I wanted to just support you on integrated medicine, but integrated medicine is sort of a new wave thing for Western, what we call Western medicine in the Caribbean, and India and Asia and parts of French Africa and stuff. There has always been an integrated approach to it because they kept the natural healing and they took the wisdom of some of the other, what we call Western medicine. So
Yeah,
integrated
absolutely.
medicine absolutely 1000% works. One of the things that I always tell people is it works, but individuals need to be open also to be asking for help. You're so right in what you said. We are not the master of anything. If we use nature as an example, each element of nature has its role. And we have to understand as well that we don't master everything, that everybody has a role. It's together as a wheel we work. In back to those elements of wellness, we see it more as a wheel because they don't happen isolated, they all happen synchronously. But awesome presentation. Thank you for sharing your experience and your learning with us. Oh, one last thing I always say, I want to say from my personal experience is the corporate world teaches us that we measure how good we are by literally taking down each other. It takes a certain maturity to say, okay, my success cannot be built on your failure.
Right.
When we're all successful, then we in fact bring the level of positivity and of productivity and just the level of being up. So it takes a certain mind shift to work on that. Currently, everybody, because of COVID, is re-examining some of those principles. But you're so right on it. People, everybody, we all need to remind ourselves that somebody else's success does not mean your impending failure, or doesn't mean you need to become almost hostile, that they will push forward more than you, because again, it's back to the wheel. We all have a purpose to play.
Yes, thank you for your comments. I appreciate that. And as far as the integrative medicine too, I mean, you're right about where it is and how it's practiced. But in the United States, it's new. For a lot of it is very new. Like what I read this magazine. It's what is it? The magazine and the Mayo Clinic. They have a magazine out now. Mayo Clinic, world known, world renowned, right? And I was surprised that they're talking about these wellness practices, yoga, acupuncture, mindfulness. These are things that have been practiced throughout the world in different cultures, and people make it a way of life. This is a way of life. What we're talking about here today is not just a hit or miss. It truly is a way of life. And for the United States now medical society to begin to embrace these things, it's going to free up people from having to fear, I believe, trying to integrate these things in their life while they're on medication, because the people are on tons of medication. But a lot of what we know to be mindfulness, to breathe, to meditate, to do yoga can really give you an even playing field so that you can become you can become whole in your wellness and not just in that one particular area.
And it's not necessarily new to the US. I'm sure Miss Liz will support me in this. Ask any Native American group or community about integrated medicine, and they will show it to you. But again, those are one of the marginalized groups.
Right. What I'm saying, it's new that doctors and clinics and researchers are now putting it out there. I'm not saying none of this is new. What I'm saying is you can now go to a doctor, whereas 10, 15 years ago, that's all they were talking about was medication. You can now go to a doctor and they can say to you, well, maybe you should take some mindfulness classes, or maybe you could take some meditation classes or some yoga classes. Doctors weren't saying that before. They're saying that now because they see and they understand the need for it, and they see the benefits in it. This is like, you know, holistic medicine, herbs, essential oils. That's an elective. Doctors don't get that. They elect to get those types of things. So when they get it, and some of them get it and some of them don't. So that's what I'm saying about this new buzzword, integrative medicine, right? Their doctors are beginning to integrate it into the medicinal or the medicines that they're giving their clients. And I think it's wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Just want to say, Dana, thank you.
You're welcome.
And never disappointed, thoroughly enjoyed the presentation, so much that I'm going to take away from it. But there's one thing that you said that really sort of hit home with me, and that is to embrace everything that has made me who I am.
Yeah.
Now that one I'm definitely walking away with, because that, you know, that sort of spoke to me. So again, I'm never disappointed listening to your presentations. Love you and thank you.
You're welcome, Zaida. Zaida's my seamstress, everybody. She's amazing at the sewing machine.
Oh, really?
If you ever need something made, just call her. Call me.
Oh, really?
I'm sharing her now. Zaida, I have grown. I'm sharing her now. I used to be very
you've grown in that.
my seamstress, but I'm sharing her now. I'm opening up.
Good to know.
Yes, I've learned that from you, Zaida, because you told me, Dina, don't be like that. Don't be like that. I'm sharing her now. Yes.
Okay. That's a blessing.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate you.
So I'd like to give a testimony.
Oh, wait, Donna.
Oh, it's not over yet. That's your way.
Well, no. Barbara had her hand up for a long
I'm sorry,
time.
Barbara. So I want to be the last one. I'm sorry, didn't see your hand. Go ahead, Barbara.
Yeah, I just want to, well, first of all, it was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. And it's like when you pick up a great book and from the first sentence, you're just totally into it. And that's what this was. And my takeaway from it was, you know how reticent our community is with getting our children from very early on into programs of, you know, with therapy and with looking at different things with anger and getting them the proper support systems that they need. And Dina, I think this has, you know, if you can focus into some of that with that, this is brilliant for that. I think parents would really look at getting and kind of change their minds a little bit if that were the case. You're brilliant at that. I mean, I'm telling you right now, I think it was I felt so safe. I felt safe with what, I mean, I would have gone and done anything. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I think that you have a warmth and a presentation, and that would be what our parents would need to feel safe and take that step in getting our kids the support that they need, because there's such a negative feeling about that in our community. So kudos to you. Wonderful.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Just wonderful.
I forgot to share the slide that had my contact information on it. Miss
I put your information in the chat.
Oh, okay, wonderful, wonderful. So, you know, reach out to me with your ideas and you know, the opportunity for me to, you know, be able to share this information, because it's needed. It's needed. And there are people who are living in these things that we talked about, and they're flourishing and they're getting it, right? I think a lot of it needs to be in our community, in our parents and our children and our teenagers, and everybody needs to hear this information, because wellness, it takes work, but it's available. And all of these things that we talked about today, they're available to us, easily available to us. And it doesn't cost a whole lot.
Yes.
Mindfulness doesn't cost anything. You know, going and sitting in the park is free, right? So You have to be able, and I think a lot of times it goes over the heads of people because it's so simplistic, right? Because it's so simplistic, people miss it, right? Because we're these engaging technical wizards, right? But going back to our simplistic lifestyle of when we were children, right? Of the things that we did as a community is really what's going to save us and move us into this space of wellness that everybody is searching for. And I think a lot of people are looking in the wrong places.
Right.
Yes.
Is it my,
Excellent.
is it my turn yet?
Give me 2 minutes. Give me 60 seconds, Kirk, then you can have it.
Go ahead.
What a wonderful way to start the year off. Your presentation was enlightening, educational, so much for us to look into ourselves for, to help us make us a better person and to make the world better. I thoroughly enjoyed your workshop this morning. A lot for me to take back and do some self-reflect, for me to take that test and to see what my strengths and weaknesses are, so I know what to do to help improve myself, to improve the overall surroundings around me. Thank you. And I'd just like to have your book information as well.
Thank you. You're welcome. Yeah, the character strengths, moving forward, like I said, I'm getting ready to come out with a list of products and services and opportunities to speak and for you to hear me in webinars and boot camps and things like that during in 2022. But one of the things I'm going to really encourage all participants is to take that character strength questionnaire, because when I took that character strength, my top strength was spirituality. I was not surprised at all, right? And then it gives you a description of what that is, what your character strength is. And spirituality is having coherent beliefs about the higher purpose and meaning of the universe, knowing where one fits within the larger scheme, having beliefs about the meaning of life that shape, conduct, and provide comfort, right? And coherent, that logical thinking, right? So when I read that, it confirmed who I was, knowing, not intuitively knowing that I was a spiritual person, right? And not connecting it all the time with my religion of Islam, or when I was raised as a Baptist child, right? Knowing that I had this innate purpose, that life has a purpose and a meaning, and we can find it, right? So it was like, oh, okay, so that's why I'm this way. That's why I'm doing this. That's why people respond to me. Sometimes when people talk, they say, oh, girl, you always so deep. Why you gotta always go so deep? We just talking about this. That's me. That's who I am, right? So it just confirmed. And then being my second one was creativity. I love creating things. Love it. Just love it, right? So you say these, oh, so this is why I am. Please, everybody, take that character strength questionnaire.
And your book information, okay.
Yes. Okay. It's on Amazon, the Change, Balance, and Flow, an Essential Oil Journey.
Dina, could you give the resource for the character?
It was on there. It was on the slide. VIA at something. VIA at character.org. Was that it?
Yes. Let me see. Where is it? I have it. Oh, here it is. Oh, I'm just doing that to Nancy. I'm going to do it to everyone. Hey, Miss Nancy. Thanks for coming.
Still in my robe. Still in my robe.
Good morning.
We all are, darling. We all are.
So tell her, we're all family here. That's all right.
It's okay, Miss. It's okay, Nancy.
So if I can live, is it my turn now?
Yes, go ahead, Don.
it's right here. I got to. Dena, you spoke about spirituality and connection and collaboration. So when I met Dena, it was through Carla. We had pivoted and was given a small grants out, and Dena did this grant with the kids, I believe. And Carla said, Donna, I want you to meet Dena. You and her would connect. And Dena connected, and we talked about a lot of things around parks and playgrounds and community organizing, things of that nature. So I said to myself, well, what is this partnership with this meeting supposed to be? She exposed me to her work, her graduation of what I think was the Master Builders or whatever.
Yes, Master Gardeners, yes.
Gardeners, and we was brainstorming about bringing classes and things to the 5th precinct and, you know, finding ways and avenues to revisit school. But the thing that really connected, and I knew it was going to be a long relationship, is she was invited to a United Parks as One meeting and had her oils and gave us a lesson about oils. So much so, she's another Betty, but I joined her organization that became supposed to be a distributor. But I was really just a purchaser and learning from the course that she gave. And so over the year, it was seems like years, but it wasn't, it was months. We kept in touch. And so I'm that person that reached out and texted her early in the morning about my mother transitioning. And I'm saying all of this, that our work yields these connections and collaborations if we open up and get to learn people. And so the creator, when she says spirituality, you know, my foundation is spiritually in everything that I do, and connecting people and lifting them up. And so the creator woke me up early that morning and gave me a name for my warrior daughters and nieces to reach out to show me, help me with my mother's transition. And I didn't want the traditional, she was put on hospice. Even though I had volunteered, that wasn't what I wanted to do for my mother. So Dena was one of my warrior daughters who hurried up and stopped what she was doing and brought the oils, told me what she needed. I said, put on your thinking cap. This is what I want. This is what I need. She stopped and brought me the oils, some homemade cough syrup, and her humidifier diffuser. Told me what to do. I can give you a bill later if that's the case. And what I want to say is that the oil soothed my mother, the ones I had from the beginning, and one I knew nothing about. The cough syrup helped get all the mucus out of her chest to ease her to go to sleep. And just to have the acknowledgement that what the creator told me to do was a blessing within itself and very spiritual. And so, you know, working in green spaces and the people you meet, for me, has been an automatic connection. And those people have become my tribe. And so when Dena said those words, those were the words that the creator gave me for this journey and transition. So I just wanted to share the importance of relationships and what they yield when you're expecting nothing back. You always get it back. So thank you, Dena, for being one of my warrior daughters or niece, whichever one you want to be. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Donna. Our relationship is so very special to me. I remember when I first met you, Yolanda, she's still on the call. She says to me, you have got to meet Miss Donna. And I met you, and it was just an instant connection. And I remember coming to my first United Parks is One meeting. I was at a place in my entrepreneurship where people just weren't getting me. They just weren't getting it. And I really felt like I should just stop doing what I'm doing. But when I came into that space of the United Parks as One, I was embraced and people appreciated and they got what I was doing. So it gave me the fortitude to keep moving. And here I am. So when I got that call on Monday, when I got that text on Monday, it was so powerful, and it still holds such a power within me, because that's when I realized that the work that I'm called to do is real. And that's when I realized that I'm embracing everything that the creator has put in me to do. And that's why I took Hajj, right? Because I'm embracing all of that. So the work and knowing that what I do or what I say or how I show up can have such an impactful meaning to someone that they call me to help their mother transition, that's huge. You can't buy that. You can't Google that.
That's right.
That's something that you have to live.
Mhm.
And in living my life, I have, and it's not to be boastful, but I have impacted lives. And
Yes.
I have information that people need to hear, right? So when Miss Donna texted me, there was nothing else that I could do but stop everything that I was doing. And she said, order. No, I had everything that she needed right in my home. And I had 3 bottles. I thought I had 2 bottles of cough syrup. And somebody had already paid for them. This is how connections and the spirituality of things work. Those things that we can't really explain, but you know it has to be a higher power involved to make it work. When I went to pull the cough syrup out, first of all, I was like, you know what, I got to call this sister and tell her, I just owe you one? I only thought I had 2. When I pulled out the cough syrup from the refrigerator, I had 3 bottles. So that other bottle was definitely for Miss Donna, right? And then the diffuser that I like to use, I get it from Walgreens, it's the reason why I like it, not a diffuser, a humidifier, is that it has a essential oil tray. A lot of times when we try to put essential oils in humidifiers, they may clog it. I went to 3 different Walgreens that day, and I could not find a diffuser. 2 different. The third, and I didn't tell you this story, Miss Donna. The third Walgreens that I went to, right on Springfield Avenue in Maplewood, I went in and I asked them, what aisle is diffusers in? Oh, aisle 21. The girl said, wait a minute, there's a diffuser right up here. It was the exact diffuser that I was looking for. It was the exact diffuser that I was looking for, a humidifier that I was looking for. I had to go no further. It was right there waiting for me.
What's the name of it? I need it.
It's the Walgreen. You'll see it. It's the Walgreen diffuser, and it's the only one that has the essential oil tray.
Okay.
On it, and you put so the reason why I'm still living in what happened to me on Monday with Miss Donna in that text is that it's real. There were higher things that we can't control working for the good of what is to come. Like I said, I thought I had 2 bottles. I had 3, right? So that's huge for her to ask me to be a part of that journey that she's taking with her mother. And in the first night, for her to tell me that her mother rested so well that she had to wake her up at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, that's huge. And the thing about it is, I don't own it. It's available to all of us. The essential oils, the wellness, the herbs, it's available to all of us. And I'm not taking ownership. What I'm taking ownership is how I show up. No matter what the obstacle, I have managed to show up. And the show up is real. Not only is it real, it's necessary. Your show up is necessary. My show up is necessary. Collectively, our show up is necessary.
Necessary.
Yeah, it's necessary. So we understood the assignment. Miss Carla, how we do? We understood the assignment, right?
Okay, Cardi.
You sure did. I was looking for my thumbs up little thing. I'll do it myself. Yes, that in way above and beyond, I think, anything we could have expected or asked for.
Yes.
From anyone else. Knowing it was you, Dina, we knew you were going to show up because that's what you do. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes. So is there anyone else this morning like to make a comment on our presenter, her presentation this morning? I got a little emotional here. No? Okay. With that said, our next monthly meeting is next February 19th, Saturday, February 19th at 10 a.m. Look for an email letting you know who our presenter will be. Our annual meeting will be on that day. Are there any announcements by anyone? Anyone like to give an announcement?
I'd just like to invite people to join United Parks as one. I'll put the link in the chat from our website. Dues are $20 a year, and that money goes to support our small grants program, which is what Dina mentioned that she had assistance for the project at the culture spot. So please visit our website and join us in what we're doing.
I do have an announcement. I'm trying to find.
But she's looking for her announcement, like to make one. This is Yolanda Stokes, and I'm sharing with you guys that right now is open enrollment for medical insurance. There are over 110,000 residents in the city of Newark that do not have medical insurance. And if you include the greater Newark area, there's over 200,000 residents that do not have health insurance, and New Jersey now has their own exchange. And 9 out of 10 people now qualify for medical coverage that did not qualify when the Affordable Care Act first rolled out. So a lot of them still under the impression that they do not qualify, where now they would qualify under the New Jersey exchange. So please get word out. So when I was first told those numbers, I'm like, well, who are these residents? They don't walk around with a sign saying I have no medical insurance. They could be your neighbor, your church member, the neighbor next door. Please get word out that January 31st is the last day for open enrollment. Thank you.
I'm typing it in the chat now. Thursday, January 20th at 2 p.m. So on Thursday at 2 p.m., I have been selected to participate and do a talk on installing a teaching pollinator garden with the Alliance for New Jersey Environmental Educators. I put the information on the chat. It's still not too late to register. It's not too late to register. So if you're interested, it's Thursday at 2 o'clock. And what I'm doing is I'm really speaking to what Ms. Donna had mentioned and what, you know, I've gained and learned from United Parks is the importance of having garden spaces, right, or green spaces, and the importance of having pollinators who, without pollinators, we don't have food, right? And I was surprised to find the number of, you know, gardeners who garden and may not have a large amount of pollinators in their particular garden. So that's my passion. That's my passion, is to, you know, have pollinators throughout our green spaces, especially in urban environments. So again, if you want some information about the Milkweed Project, please call me or reach out to me, email me, because that's huge, and it's giving away free milkweeds, and you can plant them in your home, your community, anywhere, and you get teaching skill, you know, the tools and, you know, the information as to how to care for them, and they just reseed year after year after year. So I'm excited to be able to share that information at this huge conference.
Are they in virtual or in person?
It's virtual.
Oh, okay, good.
It's
I
virtual.
like the information. Yeah.
And, oh yeah, share that information. And my question about the milkweed is it just a pollinator, or do we have caterpillars with it?
Ask a question again. I'm sorry.
Is that just for the butterflies itself, or is it for the pupa, the caterpillars, and all of that?
Right. So what happens is the milkweed plant is the only plant right, that the monarch butterfly lays its eggs on, and they lay their eggs on the underside of the leaves. So once the egg hatches, the caterpillar, because you have the egg stage and you have the caterpillar stage, it will eat the milkweed. And that's all. The monarch butterfly is like the queen of the caterpillar world, because that's all they do is eat milkweed and poop. That's all they do.
Okay.
Right, for maybe a week or so. The caterpillar, eat. And then what happens is they find an attachment to either a leaf or a stem, and they build their cocoon, right, or their chrysalis, right? And then they turn into their butterfly. So the slide that I showed you where you saw, well, that wasn't a egg, that was the ladybug. That's a ladybug that was a pollinator. But on the underside of one of those leaves was an egg, because that butterfly we found in the pollinator garden that I installed at the culture spot. And it's nothing more, more enlightening and fun to be teaching about the cycle of a butterfly and then have a butterfly come, or to be able to actually show a child what the tiny little egg looks like, right? Or to see the chrysalis hanging from one of the leaves that they helped plant. And that's what we did in that space this summer.
Okay.
So yeah, it has all of that. So if you want some, just let me know, and I will, we're gonna have a pickup spot. You can pick them up. And then after that, if people still want them and we have some left over, there will be a delivery.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. All right, is there anyone else? Anything else? And with that, I want to thank everyone for coming out, your participation on such an excellent workshop at the beginning of 2022. Thank you so much. I look forward to you, and there's some information in the chat.
That's about the conference.
And with that, I'm gonna ask Renatha to
all right. Again, thank you, Dena, for being here. I appreciate you and all your shenanigans. I'm sorry, Haja Dena Corbin.
Yes.
I call Dena by her full name because,
she deserves it.
There's her full name because she understands the assignment. All right, bye, y'all big heads. May the Lord watch between me and thee while we're absent one from another. Amen. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Have a